Cam Akers,
Ooh.
year 2 outlook. Not a great finish for him
Not
in
at all.
2020.
Terrible.
RB
That's really bad.
45. But in 2021, he's currently RB 11 ADP wise. So, ADP is average draft position. So in mock drafts and people who have actually drafted this early for whatever reason, Cam Akers is currently going as the RB 11 off the board.
Correct.
That's typically at the 2.4 if you're in a 12-man league.
Right.
Badake, you are the highest on Cam Akers. He's your RB 8. He's my RB 10. Why are you so high on Cam Akers this year?
Yeah, it's pretty simple for me, and it's its opportunity and explosiveness. When I think of him going into this 2021 season, there's no one in his way, okay? And him going into his second year with his ability that we all know that he can do, it's going to be something special, in my personal opinion. Like I said, it's pretty simple, straightforward. There's no one there stealing any touches. There's no Malcolm Brown anymore.
So you're not worried about Darrell Henderson?
No. In my personal opinion, I think he's more of a lever back. He's just going to come in. He's going to be a guy, Cam Akers is going to, in my personal opinion, I see him coming in Cam Akers and getting 15 touches a game, 20 touches a game. I think, Sean McVay wants to run the ball. He wants to bring back the old days of Todd Gurley, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, obviously Cam Akers and Todd Gurley are built a little bit differently.
100%.
But it's all opportunity for you then.
Yeah, opportunity and his ability to be explosive. When he hits the holes, it's different. It's completely different.
I actually had to move Cam Akers down in my rankings right as we started to look at this series, and we wanted to bring you the best content possible. I looked at all the year 2 running backs that we were about to talk about, and I had to move Cam Akers down. And I think the main reason is I just can't take Cam Akers over Jonathan Taylor or Antonio Gibson. I know you have him over both of those guys.
Correct.
He definitely took over this role mid-year last year. There's no doubt that he was kind of the alpha in this backfield.
Right.
But I want you, if you're watching this or you're listening, go look at Cam Akers' game logs last year, okay? It's not super impressive when he takes over the role. There's only 1 week that really stands out, and that's week 14. Other than week 14, there's not a week where Cam Akers really booms and just has an amazing game. That worries me a little bit, but the most important thing that makes me a little bit more skeptical is the targets that he got last year. He only got 14 targets on the whole year. He played in 13 games. So that's around 1 target every game.
Right.
Again, I believe as he gained trust with this coaching staff and Matthew Stafford coming in, I do think that he gets more 2 to 4 targets per game this year. But I will say it has to worry you a little bit that he only had 14 targets. That's what
my thought process was. That I actually haven't looked into depth of who was actually getting the targets in this backfield, whether it was Malcolm Brown or Darrell Henderson. I think if whoever that was, I personally believe Cam Akers is going to adopt all those touches, all those looks in the backfield. And plus, he gets a better quarterback in general, okay? So Matthew Stafford, we all know what he can do. He can, I personally believe they're going to line up Cam Akers on the outside and in some opportunities. I doubt it's going to be a lot, but there will be times where we'll be surprised in this lineup for Cam Akers.
I get the formula here, right? Better quarterback. Hopefully you're going to be scoring more points. The defense is elite. So I get the formula, but it still worries me. I'm still worried because I don't know if Cam Akers is the kind of running back that Sean McVay is like, hey, I want to commit my entire backfield to you. I think he will have at least a 65% split. But I am worried that Darrell Henderson will play a role, especially on the goal line.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that all the targets in this backfield are going to go to Cam Akers. I will say he is the obvious best pass-catching back in this backfield.
Yeah, correct.
But for those reasons, I'm out now. For those reasons, he was my RB8 when I looked into it more in depth, and we're constantly changing our rankings. Yeah,
and that's what I was going to say.
I had to move him down from my RB8. He's now my RB10.
Yeah, and that was another addition I was going to say. These guys are going to be moved as we get close into the season. He's currently in my RB8. He could go higher or could go lower once we get closer to the season. Once we hear more reports of what Sean McVay and Cam Akers are going to do in this offense. But I'm really excited of Cam Akers going into the 21 season.
You're on the board. there's Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, and Antonio Gibson. Now, this is insane to me, and we're going to talk about this. But you're taking Cam Akers out of those
I'm
three.
taking Cam Akers. I did that in my last Dynasty League, and I can show you proof of that with Cam Akers on my team. Jonathan Taylor was on the board, but Antonio Gibson was on the board. And I took Cam Akers.
JT was gone, but you took Akers over Gibson.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think what we can both agree on is his current ADP is RB11.
Mm-hmm.
I have him RB10. You have him RB8. So we're both comfortable with his current ADP. So if you're going into drafts and you're like, oh, can I draft him where I'm seeing him go? Yeah, I think you can. He's not a guy I'm taking in the first 8 picks. He's a guy you could take in the first 8 picks.
Yeah.
But if I'm at the 12 spot in a 12-man league, I'm comfortable with it.
Makes sense.
So definitely some risk, but it's a slight risk, high reward scenario.
And it's only up from there, 40. He finishes running back 45. He's going to finish higher.
Yeah, man. I mean, you look at his game logs. He's getting like 20 to 30 touches in some of these games, but the games they're not league winning.
He was injured.
Games.
He dealt with the injury last year. So I know it took him a while to they were really trying to figure out who was the guy. They wanted Malcolm Brown, they wanted Darrell Henderson, and then they did draft this young rookie. Give the rookie the opportunity, and he shined.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos,
watch it.
You can also subscribe
right now
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.